Hello, Djordje Romanic here. Welcome to Fundamentals of Weather and Climate. Today we are going to define absolute humidity. Absolute humidity is really density of water vapor. We know that density of any substance, which we denote ρ, is mass of a substance divided by volume, or m divided by capital V. That's mass of any density of any substance. What is absolute humidity? That would be density of water vapor in the atmosphere. But we don't use ρ subscript V, we call this quantity A. And that is equal, mass of water vapor divided by volume. So, A is equal mass of water vapor, we say mv, divided by volume of air. This quantity is known as absolute humidity. What is the use of absolute humidity? Well, we are familiar with this quantity. We are familiar with calculating density of anything, density of wood, density of concrete, density of water, and then we can also calculate density of water vapor in the volume of air. So it's easy to interpret it. The issue with this quantity is that, as you can see here, this absolute humidity depends on volume. And that is not good. Now I'll show you why that is not good. Imagine I have volume of air that is 1 cubic meter, and I then decrease that volume of air to be half of cubic meter. Now, imagine that mass of water vapor in these two volumes is the same. Let's say it's 10 grams. I have 10 grams of water vapor. Well, we know that absolute humidity is mass of water vapor divided by volume. So if I calculate here A, it will be this divided by this. 10 divided by 1 will be 10 grams per cubic meter. But how about here? 10 divided by 0.5 is 20 grams per cubic meter. So what did we conclude here? Well, we concluded that the amount of water vapor is unchanged. I have 10 grams of water vapor in both parcels. But because I changed the volume of the parcel, this quantity changed. And that's not good. Because this quantity is supposed to quantify how much moisture I have in that volume. And the amount of moisture did not change, but the quantity did change, actually doubled. So that's why absolute humidity is not so often used in atmospheric sciences. In atmospheric sciences, when we have a volume of air that perhaps starts its journey from the Earth's surface and goes up to 2 kilometers, that volume of air changes volume. Now, it expands. Now, as it expands, even if the amount of moisture is the same, the absolute humidity will, in this particular case, decrease. Because if I increase volume, absolute humidity will decrease. Right? Volume goes up, absolute humidity goes down. Volume goes down, absolute humidity goes up. Without adding or removing any water vapor. So if you want to use absolute humidity, it is very useful in the context of perhaps analyzing air in this room, where the volume stays unchanged. Then this is very useful. If you have circumstances in which volume of gas, air, changes, then absolute humidity is not the best measure of amount of moisture in air. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and until next video, goodbye.